Hi, it's Joan Landino Says. Welcome back. Today's topic is going to be on insomnia. So many people suffer from insomnia that we almost think that it's not even an illness or a disorder. People almost think that it's normal not to sleep. Last time I had a good night's rest was when I was a teenager. But usually it would have to be for a full month that you have had difficulty falling asleep, and it should not be due to another condition, general medical condition, or, I'm going to sit on my hands, or depression. And if your neck happens, your neck size, I'll be talking to Joe, if your neck size happens to be over 16, so 17, 18, 19, you should also be ruled out for sleep apnea or another type of sleep disorder instead of primary insomnia.
So if you have depression, do you definitely have insomnia?
No, you could have insomnia or hypersomnia. Yeah, either way. And then usually when people say to me, Joan, I can't sleep, although I sleep for 12 hours and I'm not well rested when I wake up. If you have depression, you're most often getting too much REM sleep, rapid eye movement, and that's why you don't feel well rested. Mm-hmm. But if you get a really good night's rest, you're actually in a very good mood the next day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How do you sleep, Michael?
I usually sleep really well. I do notice that every once in a blue moon I can't sleep, so it's clearly not a disorder, and I'm luckier than most people out there because I do sleep very well. But I just wanted to know, is there medication that people can be taking during the day that will affect the way they fall asleep at night? Like an ADD med or Provigil or...
Actually, Provigil would be great to take during the day. Of course, you can't get it covered by insurance unless you have narcolepsy or sleep-wake shift disorder.
Mm-hmm. Which is when you work crazy hours?
Nurses, shift workers, yeah.
Just to clarify it for everyone out there.
So that would be a wake-promoting agent, Provigil, and Nuvigil. And then the theory behind that would be not only will you be well-rested and awake during the day, you'll sleep better at night, but not everyone does. And the ADD meds are stimulants. If you have ADD, you are not supposed to feel revved up and stimulated throughout the day. You're supposed to actually feel calm and focused. And again, in theory, that will then help you sleep better at night.
But it doesn't sometimes.
Then sometimes you might not be metabolizing it correctly.
Or you told me the other day I need to take it. No, or she said to me the other day, just take it earlier in the morning, because then it will wake up.
Right. And if it's immediate release, don't take it after 3 p.m.
Yeah.
But of course, everything's based on metabolism too. So there's a lot of sleep meds out there. Unfortunately, a lot of them can be addictive. And apparently Lunesta works for everybody I know except for me. Have either of you tried Lunesta?
Yes, and besides the weird taste you got in your mouth, I slept like a baby and woke up the next morning on time, wasn't groggy, but it's not something I'd want to take nightly. You know what I mean? Because I'm scared that I would then be relying on it, even though don't they say Lunesta's not something you become reliant on?
It's
not as habit forming, it is, but not as habit forming as Ambien or Zolpidem. The Ambien is the one where people
get
they get up, they sleep. They get up, they eat at night. People have driven before, so of course, if that's you, that Ambien's not your med. And isn't there a new Ambien out, Michael?
Yeah, there's,
what's that?
A drug rep came in the other day and was asking if people ever have an easy time falling asleep but wake up in the middle of the night. There's a new med. Why don't you tell them all about it?
Intermezzo, and it's sublingual, but it is Ambien still. So sometimes I can fall asleep, and then at 3 in the morning I would end up taking that. If I could metabolize that, I can't. So I would take that, though, if I could metabolize it for the sublingual. And then the benzodiazepines, highly addictive.
Like the you're talking about?
Yeah, we're not supposed to take that at night for sleep, but a lot of us do.
Yeah.
But again...
Why aren't you supposed to take it at night for sleep?
Because it's so habit-forming. I mean, we take it.
But then you'd be addicted and relying on it. If you didn't have your Xanax for sleep, then you...
It's just the same if somebody's on Ambien. If they don't have their Ambien, they don't sleep.
Right. And that's why a lot of insurance companies rule the world. I don't know if there's a president anymore. I think it's President Insurance Company. They only give 20 Ambien now. They'll still give 30 Lunesta because it is less habit forming.
Yeah. Or they'll give you 30 of it for a month?
Yeah. With Ambien, most insurance companies will cover 20, 25, something like that. Because if you don't take a break, yes, it becomes habit forming. But utilize your bed for sleep and sex only. Because if we read in bed, watch television in bed, did you find that funny?
Yeah, well, when I noticed that when I lay in bed with my iPad and I'm searching the web for hours, Kevin will say to me, Miguel, you're missing your window, meaning I'm now too far into staring at this thing that I'm not going to fall asleep that night. Even the episode of Friends that usually puts me to sleep doesn't work because I missed my window.
That is such a common term.
Yeah.
A lot of people who can't sleep say, I've missed my window of opportunity.
Kevin says it to me all the time. Like if I do take like a nighttime cold medicine and then I decide to like sit up and play on the computer or something, he'll say, you're missing your window, Michael. So is that not false?
No, it's not false. No, there is a window, especially also with Ambien. If you miss immediate release Ambien, if you miss your window to fall asleep, you'll be up all night. There's also a window with that. So if you take a sleep med, take it in your bed or a half hour.
Is that the same for
before you go to bed?
Lunesta too?
You actually, good point. You not only should take everything at the same time, but you should also go to sleep at the same time, which is almost impossible. And you should also try not to have a clock right in your face because most insomniacs watch the clock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when I ever wake up in the middle of the night and I see it 3 and then I turn on the TV and then I see it 4, I never think I'm going back to bed. Yeah. So
but let's talk about alternatives to medicines. So there's some natural remedies out there. You can take melatonin, which is our natural circadian rhythm. When sunlight comes in, melatonin decreases. As it gets dark at night, melatonin should increase. Unless, of course, you're a nurse or a shift worker, you have ruined your circadian clock.
Oh, wow.
So how do you get melatonin, or how do you take it?
You could take it by mouth.
Where do you get it?
Yeah, the pharmacy.
Is it tablet form? Is it like?
Yeah.
I don't think you have to.
There's
get
even a
prescription,
long-acting extended release,
really?
but it doesn't work for everybody, and you probably shouldn't give it to children because it can affect it can affect hormones. It didn't work for me.
It didn't work for you, but it worked for another client of yours, and they loved it.
Oh, people love melatonin to sleep.
So that could be the cheapest, easiest way for someone to fall asleep.
Again, not when you're really little. Some pediatricians are giving it to children. It affects the hormones, so I'd go for an alternative to that.
Is this over the counter?
Yeah. Valerian root used to work over the counter. That was great for sleep, although it stunk like salad dressing. Oh, gross to take it. L-tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin, that can help people sleep. A warm bath, that's actually wonderful. Most people who take a bath maybe an hour before they go to bed, that can help you sleep. But again, reserve the bed for sleep and sex only, because if you're going to be reading, watching television, what were you doing? iPad.
I do homework in my bed.
Not so good. And then again, in the middle of the night, if you can't sleep, don't just lay there. Get up, do something. Reserve your bed for sleep only.
Oh, so get up and clean the kitchen?
Well,
even if it's 30.
If you lived with me, I'd like you to do that. Yeah, I don't know. But other than that, if you are having trouble sleeping, please, lavender's another home remedy. The smell of lavender alone will help you get to sleep.
Nice.
But if you do have any trouble sleeping, you can also get a sleep study test. The problem with that, a lot of clients have gotten sleep study tests, and what their results are, I am so sorry, sir or ma'am, that you didn't fall asleep, so we're unable to help you.
But it's like, how are you supposed to fall asleep when somebody's, I mean, are there at-home sleep study kits? Where you can be in your own bed.
But you're hooked up to a machine.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but the second someone hooks something up to me, I won't be sleeping.
And it's all over your head, so.
Yeah, so can you get on top of that? Like,
I'll get right on top of that. And then I'll open up my own sleep study center. And then also make sure, because food matters, there are certain foods you can eat. People will ask, can I eat before I go to bed? Don't have a huge meal before you go to bed, but you can have a small snack, baked potato in its jacket.
In his jacket?
Skin.
Yeah.
Rice, beans.
My roommate says warm milk puts her to sleep.
I know, but I'm vegan, huh?
I know.
It
So
does, because
Why does it do that?
Because L-tryptophan is released
in milk
when you heat milk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
We did that for years. Okay, let's wrap this up. Any questions about sleep?
No, but I bet you there's a lot of people out there that will have questions, so just go to her blog and ask away.
My website?
Yeah, same thing, right?
Right.
Blog, website.
Thanks again, and have a good night's sleep.